8:42 on your Friday morning. You're watching Breakfast Television, but it's not just any Friday. Today is International Women's Day, and on a special day like today, it's important to both celebrate how far we've come, but also really shine a spotlight on the issues that still live in the shadows. And today we are tackling the many ways we talk about women's bodies and the impact those words have on how we choose to show up in our own lives. Joining me are Cityline's Tracy and editor-in-chief for The Kit and culture editor at the Toronto Star, Laura deCarufel. Happy International Women's Day to you both.
Happy Women's Day.
Yes.
Good to see you both.
It's great to be here. I'm thrilled to be having this conversation. I know we're going to sort of talk about the genesis of how this feature came to be. And I was just so thrilled off the top to be able to do this alongside you, Tracy Moore, and Lauren Chan and Ann Purnell. So, Laura, how did this happen? How did we get here? Yeah.
Basically, every year, the Kit and the Toronto Star partner on a major project for International Women's Day that allows us to do a deep dive into issues that matter to women. So we've covered the burden of grooming, we've covered ageism, and then this year we really wanted to tackle women and how the world looks at our bodies and talks about our bodies and how we talk about our bodies ourselves. And part of the inspiration for that was actually you, Meredith, when we profiled you when you started here at Breakfast Television. And throughout that piece, you used the word curve, which was very interesting to hear that. And we heard actually a lot from our readers that it was a typo. Perhaps they thought that you meant curvy. And it was interesting because I think it sort of showed that there's a bit of an opportunity for us to do a bigger deep dive into the language around how we talk about ourselves and our bodies. So we got together. Our features director, Ronnie Sheen, was really instrumental in this. We chose 4 women who are on the front lines of body scrutiny, and then we were so delighted that you all said yes and were so open and honest with your own experiences.
Yeah, and we got to get up on that shoot. Erin Layden, our fabulous photographer, there she is, Tracy Moore, in that Mugler cat suit. Woo! How did that feel, Tracy? I mean, I saw you work it on set.
But you know how it felt, because I could
feel?
not stop talking about it. They put, I was the 4th look of the day, they put it on me, and we were like, yes, the suit. Can I wear this home? Can I wear this in the cab? Like, can I wear this to pick up my kids? Can I go to the hockey arena?
And the answer is yes.
It felt so good, and it was just, it was a good day of positivity, like internally, but also with these women that I was with that day. I had good thoughts in my mind the whole time. I was not trying to suck in, which was a nice moment of just sort of letting go. And I love the way the whole thing turned out. So I'm so happy I said yes.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for the invitation.
100%, 100%. And when we speak to the positive times, like this shoot, it's not always that way, right,
No.
Trace? There are comments that come. There are things that have been endured.
Yeah.
How have you taken your journey to the spot that you're in now?
It's come incrementally for me, and I think it's been a lot of me talking to myself and talking myself through the journey, which is why this is so nice, because I have people to talk to now and with about it. And it's not like there aren't other people in the industry that I could speak about this, but a lot of them don't fall outside of the ideal body that we're used to seeing on national TV and local television. So I think it's been a lot of me having to explain to viewers and followers that this is what I'm okay with. And so this is what you should get on board as well. And if you don't want to, that's okay, but I don't want to hear what your thoughts or opinions are, because they actually have nothing to do with me. Like, your opinions of me are none of my business.
Yes, I say that too. Your opinions of my body are none of my business. Yeah.
So go ahead and have them and think them and be at home and drink coffee and scrutinize me and have a problem with the way I sit and what I'm wearing and that's the wrong blush. Go ahead, have all those thoughts, because you're a human being and you're going to have them. I don't need to hear them. I don't need to hear any of it.
And also, taking that one step further too, if you are having those thoughts about other people, try to think back at how you think of yourself, because a lot of times that's a reflection of really not giving yourself enough grace in those moments, or sort of a lot of judgment. And I think once we free ourselves, and we really can do that through language, which is why I think this piece is so interesting, because it explores that language, which really allows us to progress, not only how we talk to ourselves, but how we talk about other people and about ourselves to other people. So, Laura, where do you think this is going to go? We're having this conversation. Is it going to keep happening? Where do you see this leading us?
I think that it is going to keep happening. I think that we are at the beginning of a kind of dam of representation and a dam of kind of conversation that just feels more grounded in something that is real, and we're not going to be able to go backwards. I think it's still a long road. I mean, there's different things that I think are interesting to think about related to this. Like, the most important thing is people having the courage to have these conversations and to be in the public eye and to take the positive response, but also probably some negative comments too, I can imagine. But also changing the visual language of how people are portrayed. That's something that I've really noticed working in the industry for quite a long time, is that often when you feature people who are outside of the sort of traditional ideal body, they're often photographed nude, or they're photographed in kind of mumsy, loud patterns. So it was really inspiring, I think, for this shoot to work with Erin and the styling team to create something pretty sexy. Our inspiration for this was 90s supermodels wearing Versace.
Look at that group shot.
It's good.
Come on.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, Lauren Shan, Ann Purnell, Tracy Moore, and the other one, me.
Yeah.
Erin Shaw. This has been a real pleasure. Tracy, last word to you. What do you hope people take away from this, in particular today on International Women's Day?
I would love for women to start to meet themselves where they're at versus being on this treadmill that's leading nowhere but to unhappiness and unacceptance. So if we can start this International Women's Day with a focus on, I'm good, I'm enough, I'm fantastic right now, then whatever changes you need to make, if you want to lose weight, if you want to run a marathon, if you want to be a nice person, a nicer person, if you want to give more to charity, make all of those changes, but start with the acceptance that where you're at now is good and it is enough. And if we could start to do that, I think we'd actually be getting less of the trolls and less of the people that are dissatisfied with us that are public facing.
Yeah.
Start with yourself.
Is huge. Start with yourself and know that your worth is not tied to your body, and keep showing up in those spaces. Laura, Tracy, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You can catch that more in the Toronto Star, of course, the Kit, and also we did a podcast called This Matters. You can find those when you find your podcasts. We got more breakfast television coming up, sticking with the International Women's Day theme. Of course, you sound off on the way. What woman do you want to honor in your life? Have your say. Feedback at breakfasttelevision.ca. Your mom.
More.
Laura, do you have a shout out as we go to break?
I'll mention my mom, Julie deCarufel.
Okay, mine too. Marilyn Pilkington, we love you. More breakfast television coming up right after this.